My mission is to teach mindfulness and meditation in a way that everyone can understand, to reimagine meditation for the modern world. Because at the end of the day, it's just a tool that, if used correctly and consistently, will change your life in ways that words really can't even explain. And I know that is a pretty big claim, but it's actually really, really simple. And here's how it works. Meditation is just a practice, just like working out. But rather than developing your physical fitness, meditation builds your mental and emotional fitness. It also helps you become more aware of your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors. And another word for this awareness is mindfulness. So now, why is mindfulness so important? Well, for the simple fact that the more you are aware of, that means the more you have control over. This becomes clear when you consider the opposite of mindfulness, which we would call mindlessness. And that's kind of like running on autopilot, which we do all the time, myself included. And this lower state of awareness, your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors are more of a habitual reaction to your environment rather than a conscious and deliberate choice made by you. As an example, let's say you have 3 simple goals: to eat healthier, be less stressed, and improve your self-confidence. Pretty simple and solid goals. And then later in that day, you see a cookie, you feel a craving, and then you eat a cookie. And then later you're at the store and you see a super long line, and then you start to feel impatient. Or maybe you're walking through the house and you pass by a mirror, and without even realizing it, you have negative self-inner talk. All of these behaviors, these negative emotions, and these thoughts are happening without us really deliberately or consciously choosing them. They're more of a habitual reaction to the situation in our environment. Now, this is why we often feel stuck, like we just simply cannot change. No matter how hard we try, we find ourselves repeating the same patterns over and over and over, making the same mistakes. Progress is slow, and it feels like we're hopelessly trapped in an endless loop. Or at least that's how I felt for the first 28 years of my life. My attention was unfocused. My thoughts were very repetitive and negative, and my emotions were overwhelming and really hard to identify. I didn't know that the painful feeling I had in my stomach for years was actually guilt. I also wasn't aware that I was constantly worrying about the future and constantly analyzing the past, which left very little awareness to be here in the present moment. And I think that's why for my childhood, I have such a poor memory, because physically I was there, but mentally my awareness was usually somewhere else. Eventually it got to the point where I was so stressed and depressed that I was willing to try anything, even something that I thought was kind of ridiculous, like meditation. But this, I remember vividly. I was super stressed and waiting in an airport terminal for my flight. I put on my headphones, closed my eyes, fully prepared to quit the meditation after the first couple minutes, because that's pretty much how it went every other time I tried meditation. To me, they felt, fake. Like the speaker was trying so hard to make me relax that it was actually annoying me. Like, you will now breathe in and feel the peace and quiet of your whatever, and some people love that. That's great. It just wasn't really for me. But this particular meditation, it was a little different. The instructor, he sounded like a totally normal dude, kind of like me. And the way he described meditation, it was so practical and easy to understand. The way he spoke made it feel like it was just a conversation with a friend, rather than a teaching from some ancient guru on Mystic Mountain or whatever. It allowed me to lower my walls and be more open to what he was trying to tell me. What I learned is that meditation is basically just an exercise for your mind, your body, and your awareness. You might say different meditations train different mind muscles, like concentration, focus, clarity, emotional awareness, and of course, mindfulness. So by the end of the 10-minute meditation, I completely forgot that I was at the airport. When I opened my eyes, I was a little surprised. But then I noticed something else. I didn't feel stressed anymore. In fact, I felt more calm and relaxed than I had in a very, very long time. Maybe since I was a kid. It was kind of like I just woke up from a bad dream. And as I looked around the terminal, I noticed everything seemed to be in a higher resolution. Up until this moment, my visual awareness was set at HD, but now everything looks like it's in 4K. Colors were more vibrant, textures were more detailed and beautiful. People even seemed kinder. And then I noticed the craziest part of all. it was quiet. Not in the airport, but in my head, for what felt like the first time in maybe ever. I think that what happened was the meditation moved my awareness from inside the thinking mind and brought it down and out into the present moment, here and now. It's sort of like when you're driving in a dark road at night and you turn the music down so you can see better. This meditation turned down the volume of the voice in my head, and instead I was focusing my full attention, pouring my full awareness into the environment that I was in. Not judging or analyzing it, just observing and appreciating. Like I said, words really can't describe how I felt in that moment, but if I had to try, I'd say it felt like for the first time in a long time, I knew that everything was gonna be okay. And I couldn't stop smiling. Unfortunately, it didn't take long for the mind chatter to start back up again, and with it came familiar negative emotions. But this time, it was a little different, because now I was aware of the negative thoughts as they were happening in my head, and that awareness of the thoughts made them weaker. I felt like there was more space, and I was no longer inside the thought or the emotion. I later learned that's exactly how mindfulness works. Once you notice, once you become aware of the thought, you now have a choice. You can choose to continue riding that train of thought to wherever it may go, or if it's not serving you, you don't like where it's going, you now have the option to just get off the train. In other words, mindfulness is awareness. Awareness gives you choice. And whenever you have a choice, you have more control. More control over the way you think, more control over the way you feel, and more control over the way you act. And it's your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors that make up your personality. It's quite literally who you are. And it's your personality over time that has created the life that you're currently living right now. Look around. Your present reality has been created by you. So then, to be mindful of your thoughts, emotions, and choices means you have more control over who you are and what you do. You begin to notice the self-destructive habits that are keeping you stuck. You'll notice the self-talk that's negative and destroying your confidence. The repetitive thoughts and limiting beliefs about yourself that have been holding you back. Then, now that you're aware, you choose to replace those thoughts, those old emotions, with ones that are more aligned with your goals, your new identity. With these new thoughts lead to new choices, and with these new choices produce new experiences. And all these new thoughts and experiences create new emotions. And now that you're thinking, feeling, and acting different, by definition, you have changed your personality. You are a different person. And your life will begin to reflect that, and in the most magical and surprising ways. Meditation has made such a powerfully positive impact on my life that I felt I needed to share it with as many people as I can. I had no idea that I could feel this calm, this confident, or happy. The scary part is that had I never given it a chance or never found the right teacher, I might still be stuck in that same dark place, which is why my mission, my purpose, is to translate the often abstract teachings of meditation into a language and a format that I think is more easily understood by even the most skeptical or pragmatic people. Because I believe that if we are all more intentional with how we treat ourselves and each other, this world will be a much kinder and calmer place. So, that is what my channel and my work is all about, creating new and diverse ways of explaining meditation so that as many people as possible at least have the chance to understand its purpose, and hopefully find a greater sense of joy and peace and purpose in their own life. It's all right there. Even just a 10-minute practice every day can absolutely change your life. If you want to give it a shot, check out my YouTube, Jobe's Journey, for a full-length guided meditations. And I also post mindful content on TikTok and Instagram. But to access my full library of guided meditations and other exclusive content, go to my Patreon, Jobe's Journey. For the price of a coffee per month, you can help support my mission of making the world a calmer and more kind place. You'll also get to connect with other beautiful, like-minded people who are committed to creating a kinder and calmer world. So, thank you so much for your time and your support. I appreciate you guys. You are awesome. Cheers.